Why do North Korean defectors keep on changing their stories?
North Korea is an unimaginable country. When I was 9 years old, I saw my friend's mother publicly executed. Her crime? Watching a Hollywood movie.
That is a truly horrendous account. The problem here is that Park has a long history of glaring inconsistencies in interviews that have left some experts scratching their heads. For instance, she says this about the fate of her father.
My father died in China after he escaped North Korea. And I had to bury him at 3 a.m. in secret.
But she's also told reporters on another occasion that her father was cremated. She told the Irish Independent that at one point, her and her sister were forced to fend for themselves in the mountains after their parents were imprisoned.
Who looked after you?
Were
both of your children or both of your parents in jail at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
So you looked after yourself?
Yeah, sister and I.
How did you survive?
We had to find our ways to find the food to eat. And I had to go to the mountain and just get the grasses and plant there.
Dragonflies, I think?
Yeah, dragonflies and more than things like frogs.
But she gave a very different version of events to the BBC.
After my father went to prison and my mom went to prison, 4 of us all separated. So my sister went to my uncle's house and I went to my aunt's house and lived there for 3 years.
Park's subsequent explanation of her varied accounts was that it was because of a language barrier, having only recently learnt English. But such extreme differences in narrative are clearly more than just translational errors. In the end, we don't know what to believe. The same is true of other high-profile defectors. For example, former prisoner Shin Dong-hyuk confessed parts of his testimony that went towards writing the international bestseller Escape from Camp 14 were false. Similarly, former intelligence officer Kwon Hyuk told US Congress he had witnessed human experiments. His accounts were retold in a BBC documentary. However, South Korea's Yonhap news agency later revealed that he had never had access to such information. But why is this happening? With North Korea almost completely cut off from the world, it's perhaps unsurprising that journalists are willing to pay a lot of cash for eyewitness accounts. These days, it can be well over $500 an hour. The juicier the details of human suffering, the bigger the bucks and/or exposure. But the press then turn a blind eye when sensational claims are disputed. Sadly, though, these lucrative falsehoods ultimately backfire as they enable the regime and its apologists to dismiss all claims as lies.